I want to go to Elisa Nieves, my colleague who's also in Kerrville, not far away, I understand, from Vanessa. So Alicia, good to see you. Are you safe, and what are you seeing?
We are safe. We would not want to jeopardize. Unfortunately, we're seeing wherever this flooding is today, people trying to get the best angles, but we are not getting as close as we've seen some of these videos, Henry. But we are right in front of the Guadalupe River. I am downstream from where Vanessa is at Louise Hayes Park. This is Veterans Highway and Riverside, and this is just a completely different sight than it was, say, at 5 a.m. There were trees right here. We wouldn't be able to see these rushing waters early this morning before these rains arrived, but you can see the tree line, all of the trees snapped. The water was nearly up to the top of the bridge at around 6 a.m. this morning. And with a front row seat to everything that was happening was Miss Candace. Candace, come on in. Thank you so much for your time. You could see what was happening from your front porch, but it wasn't the rains that woke you up, right? It was a power pole that snapped, that fell?
Yes, it was a pole that had about 3 transformers on it, just on the other side of our block. The crash of that was what woke me up, and then it was just dead silent. What got me out of bed was the sound of wood breaking. I thought maybe it was the oak branches that were sitting over my car, so I was like, okay, I gotta go move my car. And I get to the door and I see that. So I go and I wake up my husband. It's like, Tobin, look, you gotta look at these floodwaters. You gotta look at these floodwaters. And he's like, oh, it's just another flood. And so he goes out, he comes back in, he's like, we gotta go. And so it was pretty scary. We're gathering up supplies and making sure I've got the diapers and the wipes and the insulin and everything we need. The dogs, the cat, get everything loaded up into the minivan. And as we're about halfway through that, Kerrville Police Department comes knocking on our door. Hey, you guys got to evacuate. And I was like, we're already on it, buddy. It's like, just tell me where to go.
So you took the time to make sure you had everything you needed, and it was just in the nick of time because the water was approaching your front rock fence there, right?
Yes. By the time it was all said and done, my husband came back after the waters had receded a bit, and he could see flood debris all the way up to the retainer wall for our yard.
Well, thank goodness you're okay, and I'm glad that your children, both furry and human children, are okay. Candace, you were mentioning how right behind me here, a lot is here that shouldn't be. We have power lines. We have a power pole over here. Can you tell us about how there was a power line across the river that snapped this morning?
Oh, yeah. As long as I have been in Kerrville, which is my entire life, there has been a power line that goes across the river. There's been, for years, you could watch the fishing line that got caught on it just waving in the wind. The floodwaters got so high that the debris caught that line and pulled it, and that tension is what snapped that pole that woke me up. As we were leaving, we had to drive over live power lines because there were two poles that were down on this side of Veterans Highway, and then there were 3 on the opposite side, which is where we had to go. So we were dodging poles, right, going over power lines. There's a power line in my front yard right now. I'm not sure if it was K-Pub or Hill Country Telephone, but they cut the wire on both sides of the river to keep further damage from happening because it was just pulling them down left and right.
And you still don't have power at this hour?
Correct. We are still without any power.
Well, Candace, I'm just glad you're safe, and thank you so much for letting us know where the safe place is to stand right here, and thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. So right behind me, guys, is Kerrville Shriner Park. That's on the other side of the Guadalupe River. They were booked for July 4th. They have several cabins that were going to be full. They had campers. We saw some of the tents there still today, but when we checked on them, it was empty, right? Because earlier this morning or last night, the park host tells us that they cleared the campers to another section of Kerrville Shriner Park, more on the hillside to where they are on higher ground and they're safer. But a lot of people with July 4th plans plan to be right here behind me, including Preston and Ty. Hello, gentlemen. Preston, you're a student at Schreiner. Can you tell us, you woke up to a lot of phone calls this morning?
Yes, I did. So I woke up, 50 plus phone calls, my whole family, just worried about my safety. And I'm just like, what is going on? And I did not prepare for this today. None of us knew really what was going on. Up until I called him, even my mom called him. And he's just a buddy of mine here,
So Ty, when your mom is checking up on everyone, you all were mentioning to me off camera, you didn't realize how severe things were when you woke up this morning. When you learned the news, how did you feel having lived in Kerrville for so long?
So I actually live downstream. I live in Center Point, which is a much smaller town, maybe 10 minutes away. And I didn't think it was going to be a big deal at all. I planned on going tubing today. And whenever I woke up, I was like, it's probably not that big of a deal. Then I saw missed calls from his mom, from friends, from my parents, trying to make sure that I was okay and just making sure that I wasn't going to be going out and, getting involved in whatever's going on. So.
And now you all are out here along the Guadalupe River where you were supposed to be today, having fun, kayaking, doing things on the river. To see this site today, what do you make of something that many people are telling us, I have never seen this before?
It's
Absolutely.
Devastating.
It is devastating, a sad sight to see. Like you mentioned, we were all supposed to be out here. Now we're out here just worried about everyone's safety. And, we're praying, hoping everyone's all right.
Yeah, I grew up on the river in Canyon Lake on the Guadalupe River, and I have been evacuated from my house multiple times throughout my life, and I've never seen it quite this bad. This is really, really bad. So like you said, prayers go out to the people of Kerrville, prayers go out to the families of all the children that were staying in Camp Mystic, and prayers go out to all the emergency responders that are out here trying to help people.
Thank you both so very much for your time. I appreciate it. I'm glad y'all are safe and you decided to stick around. Thank you. I do also want to mention the 4th of July celebration that was supposed to take place at Louise Hayes Park, obviously canceled for today. We've been reporting that. But the people in charge of this celebration have created a Reunification Center at the Arcadia Live. That's an event center right around the corner from Louise Hayes Park. And they have been receiving so many calls throughout the day from people wanting to help. Hey, what can I bring? They had so many generous people call today that they've also set up a donation center. So if anyone in the Kerrville area affected by this flooding needs clothes, water, food, some shelter, some power to charge your cell phone or computers, that is another good resource to have. And they're connecting with other shelters in the area. They've started a Google spreadsheet, making sure, okay, if this person is missing, we found him here, we'll update the spreadsheet. So it's really a last minute creation of these command centers, really, and people working together to make sure everyone who is unaccounted for is accounted for. It's just wonderful to witness the community here in Kerrville that's always existed but is especially evident today.